So what's going on, everybody? It's JediKid98 here, and today I want to go ahead and prove to you guys that the Origin staffs are going to be inside of Revelations here. We're talking the original staffs of the Ancients, the ones that Maxis made replicas and copies of in Origins. We're talking the very original ones that Primus uses. So why I think they are going to be inside of this map, let's go ahead and talk about that. So if you watch the trailer very closely, and you're going to have to watch the trailer incredibly closely to be able to pick these things out, there are certain scenes that flash by for only a split second that you will see, and that's very important and shows very much key details and how I think we're going to be getting the staffs and why I think they're going to be in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this image right here. Now this is right before Richtofen uses the Ragnarok DG4 spikes at the end of the trailer in the Der Eisendrache pyramid room. If we go ahead and take a look on the left side of the room, you're going to see this square inscription inside of the wall that has 5 etchings that are etched out in white, and then a circle with green dots for each of the 4 locations on the outer rim. Now this is very important right here in what I think is going to be getting our staffs here. So we have these 4 outer locations and we have the inner location right there. We'll talk about the inner location in a second, but I believe that the inner location is going to be a part of the beacon right there. The beacon is going to be our center point in the map. We've seen our characters, they go ahead and enter into the beacon at the beginning of the trailer, and then we see them go into the Origins trenches, and then we see the Mob of the Dead prison right after that. So the beacon is going to be our central hub of the map, and it's going to be how we're going to get to each of these 4 locations. I believe either the house or the church is going to be our spawning location, and then we're also going to have the Der Eisendrache room here. So now I want to talk about these 4 outer locations that we have here. So if you go ahead and take a look at them, now it's not perfect quality because it is a bit far away, but from what I can notice, this is what I see in each of these 4 locations. On the right side, we see a pyramid in the middle with 2 giant poles sticking out on the left and right side. I believe this is signifying to the pyramid room of Der Eisendrache, which we see in this picture right here. I believe that the pyramid is in the middle with the Earth Pyramid device, and then the 2 poles on the side are the giant keeper statues that we see. We see only 2 of them here because it's not a 3D image right there. So that's what I believe that is. And on the right side of the beacon, you go inside, you go out the right door, and then you're going to be into the Der Eisendrache pyramid area. Now on the bottom there, that is of course a church right there. We see the church in certain sections of the Revelations trailer near the spawn, what I think is going to be the spawn area. It's a possibility right there. We see that truck and everything. We see the church. I believe the Shiva and the RK5 are on side of the wall. It's where Nikolai uses the little Arnie's in the trailer. That I believe is the church section right there at the bottom. Now at the left side, we have what looks to me like the Origins mound sitting on something else. We see like this giant pyramid type of device right here. It looks kind of like a pyramid shape type of thing, and then on top of it are these like 3 or 4 poles jutting off of it. And if you look at the actual dig site in Origins, the mound area, you'll see that it has those giant like 115 poles sticking up top, and there's that like circle of like orange like light or whatever that surrounds that, and over top of the pack punch machine. If you know, you'll know what I'm talking about if you actually look at the dig site. It definitely does resemble that, so I think that's what that could be relating to. I know we have shots of the actual dig site itself sitting on top of the Alcatraz prison inside of Revelations. If you look closely in the trailer, you can see those shots. So I believe that's what that is signifying right there, that we'll be able to go to Origins as well as Mob of the Dead through that section. And then at the top, I think that is the house, the actual like the main house where we go to, where Samantha and Eddie and all the 4 characters and Monty is right there at the top. So that's what the 4 outer locations I think are for that. Now the inner location is a much more important here in talking about the staffs right here. So inside of the inner location, we have this little like pedestal thing, and then jutting out of the pedestal we see 4 poles with a thicker head on top of each and every one of them. Now if we go ahead and think about what we've seen inside of the Zombies universe that could potentially relate to that in any way, shape, or form, think of the staffs. There are 4 of them. They all are in pole shape, and they have thicker heads for each of the heads of the staffs to shoot out the crystals and everything and the energy that it shoots out. So what I think is that this is signifying that in the middle section, we are going to be able to collect the staffs, and you're going to have to do something in the outer sections to get these staffs. What do I think you have to do in the outer section? Well, I think that is based around these ritual tables that we see inside of the trailer. Now, I'm going to have a couple shots of each of these showing by on the screen, and we'll talk about them as we go by on them. So these ritual sites, I believe, are in 4 of the locations where we come in and out of the beacon right there. We see our characters go into the beacon, and this is definitely the Der Eisendrache pyramid room ritual table right here. If we take a look at the right side of the screen, we can actually see there's a spotlight shining down on one of those wall inscriptions, and behind the spotlight is a broken out brick wall right there. Go ahead and take a look at this location right here, and we can see on the left there's that spotlight, there's that broken out wall, there's that inscription right there, and the stairs are leading down there. There's nothing else on these walls except for kind of some like dead trees, it looks like, and everything, and spotlights. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual the Der Eisendrache one here that we can actually see, where we see the actual pyramid room itself. The inscription is on the left side. We see those dead trees on the right side. We can only assume that that spotlight is going to be there. If you go ahead and take a look at this other image right here, which is even further back, we can actually see Richthofen using the gravity spikes. We can actually see the ritual table. We can see the spotlight on the left, the broken open hole right there, the dead trees on the right and left side, and there we see that inscription. So all of these locations signify that this is the Der Eisendrache area, and this is the Der Eisendrache ritual table right here. Now that does not mean that this is the only ritual table accessible inside of this map. Let's go ahead and take a look at this location right before the Revelations logo flashes on the screen, and you can actually see the church on the left side right there. We see a church in the inscription right there. We can actually see the inscription lit up at the bottom right there. If you look right above the truck, it's that lit up thing right there. That's the inscription that we see on the wall in the Der Eisendrache room with the parts of the map. Now we actually go ahead and look at this, and the beacon, it's different this time. It doesn't lead to the Der Eisendrache area. It instead leads to this church area, but it still has this lightning coming down. It still has this ritual area, and we can only assume that there's going to be a ritual table there as well. So there's a second one right there for the church, and we have one for the pyramid room. Now the house and the what I think is the Origins dig site, it could be either one of this third one right here. We go ahead and look at this ritual table, and we can actually see it doesn't look the same. It doesn't have that wall on the left where we see the broken out wall and the spotlight. It doesn't have the inscription on the right side of the screen. It has foliage instead this time. It doesn't have all the stuff that are in the church location here. It's definitely different. The one on the church doesn't have any foliage in the ritual area. This one does have foliage instead. So it's definitely a different area. This is probably one of the third locations. Now I was not able to spot a fourth ritual table inside of this map. Let me know if you guys could find one inside of here, but I was not able to spot a fourth one. But I definitely think that these rituals are going to relate to doing the Easter egg and getting the staffs yourself in this one. So now let's go ahead and take a look at one last image, and if this isn't proof enough that these ritual tables are going to be connected to the staffs, then I don't know what else you're going to need to prove that the original staffs are going to be inside of Revelations. So we go ahead and take a look at this shot with the rocket shield right here inside of the Der Eisendrache room, and this is relatively the same shot, right? You might be thinking everything is the same in this shot. It looks the same as the Ragnarok one. You would be wrong there. If you look at the inscription on the left side of the screen, what's different from that and the one in the Ragnarok scene? Well, all of the locations are lit up green instead of white, meaning that the rituals were probably all completed there, and you also see that the middle section with the staffs is lit up green as well, meaning that you can probably go collect your staffs in some way or do a ritual inside of there to get your staffs. These are all lit up green. The circle is lit up green. Everything is green on this. I don't believe that this is a lighting error. I believe this is what's going to happen when you complete each of the rituals in the locations, and then you go into the middle in the beacon section, and that's where you go ahead and pick up your staffs. So that's my proof as to why I think the Origin staffs are going to be returning inside of Revelations here, and we will be seeing their original forms, not the copies that Maxis made. I believe we will be seeing the original staffs of the Ancients inside of Revelations. So let me know if you guys are hyped for this, because I cannot wait to see them and I cannot wait to use them. And let me know what you guys think about this and what your thoughts are on these ritual tables, are on the staffs and everything inside of this map. And just, yeah, let me know what your thoughts about Revelations in general are. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more Black Ops 3 Zombies content. I cannot wait for Revelations to come out. It's coming soon. We got 1 week to go, and I will see you guys in the next one.